Childish Gambino is one of my favorite artists. So when I got the call to work on his movie, and that This Is America that you heard with all the sound effects and stuff in the movie that now
Yeah.
people play on the radio and stuff, like that was me. So that was dope. And just getting all his stems because I had to work with it. So just getting that song, This Is America, all 20 plus stems of it.
Mhm.
Like I have all the ad libs. I got, 21 Savage on this ad lib and this and that. And just being able to hear every little thing soloed and work with it was crazy. It was real cool to work with him. That was a lot of fun. And that was the first project I got nominated for an award. So that was cool.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Let Me Hear You Roar, the M4 podcast, y'all. Today, we got a special guest, man. One of my favorite people, a celebrity to me personally, y'all. We got Mr. Devaughn Watts. Tell him who you are, man, and tell him what you do, bro.
My name is Devaughn Watts, originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. I am a music editor in the film industry, living in Los Angeles, California. So just middleman between the composer and the director as far as getting all the music written, recorded, mastered, and edited to play on the big screen with all the films that you watch.
What's up, bro? Let's take it back, man. Tell me about how you got into music, and just how you got into the band scene,
The band scene that started probably middle school. I just always had a fascination with it, and then my generation when the movie Drumline came out, that definitely helped. And I just stuck with it. Middle school, high school, I was good at it. High school, I was a sophomore. At high school, was a section leader, similar to college, and then I just kept with it. Yeah, and I just always knew that I loved it, and I just always knew that it resided in me, and that I don't know, it was just like an urge or a calling. I was like, I'm gonna actually pursue this, because I think there's something here. I wasn't sure yet in high school, but I was like, there's something there. And so then I, went on to go to UAPB.
Okay, you was always playing Quince. That was always the drum.
Um, in No, it's a funny story. So in high school, we're core style, and I was doing snare, but for some reason, our percussion instructor wanted us to stay with match grip instead of traditional. So when I came to Pine Bluff, everybody was playing traditional. My traditional skills wasn't all that. So I was like, dang, I can't keep up playing traditional. Matched, I can somewhat keep up. And then I saw Quince. I was like, oh well, Quince, you always gonna play match grip, so I'm gonna try that, and it worked out.
What's up, bro? So tell me, so you got to UAPB. How how did you, I guess, hear about UAPB or you in Indiana? How did somebody job?
Yeah, completely random, honestly. I honestly went to Google and Googled like that had music programs for sound recording because that's what I thought I wanted to do for sure. And then that also was an HBCU and had, a good band. And I no lie, this was like 2008, 2009. Pine Bluff was the first school that popped up. So I emailed and called and then got in touch with Mr. Fooster, and then they asked me to come audition. Zoom wasn't big like that in '09, so me and my parents, we drove down there in the summer 2009 and auditioned on the spot. As soon as I got there, I auditioned with Mr. Fooster, and he loved it, especially timpani, because that's really my bread and butter as far as band is the timpanist, especially with orchestral music. And so once he saw that and that, my sight reading was so good, he, talked to Mr. Graham and they offered me a scholarship on the spot. And then I went to the academic office just to talk to them. And they gave us a tour. They looked at my ACT scores and my grades in high school. It was all really good. And then they offered me a scholarship as well for 16 credit hours. So I was able to do that for school, and I had to take a minimum 16 hours a semester, which is why I was able to graduate in 4 years. I did that, and then the band scholarship paid for housing and stuff like that. So it was almost a full ride between the two scholarships.
Right. Yeah, that's how it should be. I didn't like pay pretty much anything between
Yeah.
arts scholarship and band scholarship. So,
Yeah, I had an academic scholarship and a
mm-hmm.
band scholarship, and they said I was able to work it so that the academic, because it paid for more credits, I would take that one for classes, and the band that apply towards housing.
Yeah. So you came in 2009.
That
How
was
was the
my
first
freshman
day?
year.
How was the first day of band camp?
You said how was the first day?
Yeah, first day of band camp.
It was it was a mind awakening. First of all, like first thing waking up and smelling that smell, that I wasn't used to yet. I was just like, dog, what is, and then you go outside, and as soon as you go outside, you feel like you got to take a shower again. So that was the first thing, was the heat and all of that, just getting used to it. And also just me being a diabetic, I wasn't prepared for mind or body, just had no idea what I was getting into, to be honest. And so the first day my mind was just blown at how much work it was, that I actually, like, you saw the movie Drumline and stuff, but you didn't think you was actually going to be up that early marching and stuff, but absolutely was. So it was just a mind opener. But because I had so many, and '09's crap class was huge, because I had so many people to the left and the right of me that was bald headed just like me, not looking their best, was tired but still up and just trying to figure everything out. You had that support system, and they became your family. So that really helped get me through everything.
So when did you become a section leader in UAPB?
UAPB, I became a section leader once again my sophomore year, which was very early and soon. Doesn't happen too often. And that was a challenge because, I'm 18, 19 years old and I'm the section leader, and some people are, 21, 22, and they seniors about to graduate. And it's just like, what, you are section leader? What? So, it required a lot of me, but I loved it because it pushed me to be a leader, which I always knew I was, but it pushed me even further. So that was an amazing experience, very humbling, and I learned a lot from doing that role.
Okay, and I can imagine that helped you also when you became a drum major.
Yeah, for sure. And also my sophomore year, Kalen McDaniel, he shared that with me. He definitely helped me out because I was able to lean on him a lot because he had seniority for being there for a while. So that was a big help too.
Right. Well, so what year did you become a drum major?
I became a drum major 2012, my last year at Pine Bluff.
Was that your first year drum major?
That was my first and only year as a drum major. Yeah.
I cannot tell.
Good. That's how it's supposed to be. Good. That's good. That was my first year, my only year I did it.
That's what's up, man. So I guess thinking throughout all of your years being a band, you graduated 13.
Yes. I was there for 4 years. So no, yeah, because 13 would be the end of it. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess out of those 4 years being the band, what would you say is your favorite band?
There's quite a bit. Bernard will remember this one. I can't remember what song it was. Well, first, the whole St. Louis trip 09 was just amazing. Because '09 we was blowing, we was actually, but not just blowing, like actually skilled. We was on point. That whole trip was fun. And then I forgot what game it was, but there was a game where we were either playing I'll Be in the Sky or DOA, Death of Autotune, and the stadium, they turned the lights off like right when we were about to play, and the timing was perfect because both of those songs you start out pretty loud and pretty in your face, and so they turned the lights off right before that section, and it just made us hyped because as soon as they did it, we started blowing. It was crazy. We was lit. Like, it was so crazy, and we were just so excited. So a bunch of moments then, and then of course 2012, the SWAC championship. That's the highest we can go, besides Honda. And we knew at the time we knew we wasn't going to Honda because it was all about other stuff. So, the SWAC was it. So that whole experience, and it was my last year. I was a senior as a drum major. The energy was at a high because so many people's from Memphis, and it was in Memphis, I believe. That was an amazing experience too. I'll never forget that either.
Yeah, I can agree too. That was being my first year, going all the way to the SWAC championship.
Yeah,
that was definitely an experience. Even this past spring, when some of the guys was in SWAT championship, like it's 2012 to 20, it's 21, so that's almost 10 years. So a lot of people don't get that experience to go to the championship games. So it's definitely an experience to hold.
Yeah, for sure.
So you graduated, and so did you always want to go to well, let me go back. Did you always want to work in film? That's something
No.
you want to do?
Honestly, when I first got to Pine Bluff, it was I'm gonna be a music producer or a music A&R. That was what I wanted to be. I was like, I'm gonna be an A&R. Started to learn what an A&R takes. It's a lot of law. You got to know a lot of law. So that was like, oh, okay. So maybe I'll be a music producer. Have my own label. Big dreams, that kind of thing. And then Dr. Bailey, they literally out of the whole curriculum, we had one class called audio for video. One class. And when I took that class, it just snapped with me instantly. I was like, yo, this is so much fun. This is crazy. Like doing sound and music and putting it to video. And I can't find it. It's so hilarious. Jordan helped me. Jordan McCarroll helped me. Kay.
The Justice League episode?
Yes. It was a Justice League episode. Everybody knew about it because it was crazy. Everybody knew about it in the music program because we had so much fun and we put so much work into it. And what I know now versus what I knew then is like this, but still I just enjoyed myself. And after that, to graduate, you have to do an internship or become a teacher assistant. I found an internship at a music radio station in Little Rock. So I was driving there doing that and, just had more sound design and it just snapped. It was just simple. It came to me and it was easy for me. At the internship, the first day they gave me this 30-second commercial spot and it was like, hey, we need you to cut all of these sound effects and things for it. And I did it and he was like, did you hear this already or did you hear ours? I was like, no. And they were like, and I had their sound library, so they was like, well, that's weird because yours sounds almost exact to what we have. And I was just like, I was just doing what I thought would be funny and what sounded right. And so it's just always come like that. And so, I just talked to Dr. Bailey, a huge respect to him. I owe him a lot. He was just telling me, like, if you really want that, you're going to have to learn more about it. And that's when I was like, okay, I just want to learn more about sound, period. Not just music production, music recording, but I want to learn about sound engineering, period, on the other side, the film side. So that's when I decided to look for graduate schools, and I found SCAD in Savannah.
So was SCAD the first school you like the first choice, or it's like?
Man, it's God, bro. Like, hey, it's God. Like, literally, as far as HBCUs and stuff, Pine Bluff was the only one I went with, applied and got accepted. Grad school, period, SCAD was the only one I applied to, got accepted. And once again, especially because it's not an HBCU, so I looked at all the minority scholarships and got quite a few scholarships and all kinds of stuff for SCAD. So yeah, no, it was just one option and I went with it and it worked out.
Yeah, I had to express, man, you've been such a big role model for me as well, because like when I graduated UAPB, I always knew I wanted the further education, get a master's or a PhD or whatever. I knew I wanted to do something in music for sure, or at least,
right.
do something sound, audio wise or whatever. And then I looked at schools and stuff, I saw SCAD, and I got reached out to you. Look, I seen I think you were still there at the time, or was about to graduate.
Yep.
The advice and the support you gave me, talking about, how the classes were like, what the campus was like, you told me make sure you don't stay on campus, stuff like that.
SCAD, it's expensive. That's a whole nother school for real. Like a private art school, crazy expensive.
And all it just throughout, matriculating through SCAD, I even kind of, followed your footsteps. You did your thesis on music editing. I kind of found on film school or something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just have to, thank you Many thanks to you.
Man, no, bro, you like you don't gotta thank me. You the one did the work, bro. So I'm happy that it worked out for you and everything. Like that's awesome to see, and I'm proud of what you become and where you at, bro. Because that's huge to go back and work at your alma mater is a dream for most people, like for real. So you give yourself that applause, bro.
Appreciate it, man. So what would you say? What was the biggest thing you learned from SCAD? Not all the, you know, the literary stuff, studio techniques, white club techniques, all that stuff. What was like the biggest, as far as like I guess like morals that you learned from SCAD?
One of the biggest things I learned besides the education was just really honestly learning about myself is like that one, it was like, yo, you can do it. Like whatever you want to do, you can do it. Like and great things come from HBCUs was really what I learned, honestly. Like coming from HBCU, going to this big old private art school and graduating with a 3.9 GPA from grad school, you know what I mean? Like, and honestly, it wasn't easy, but I made it look easy, So, it let me know that it let me know what I'm capable of and what all of us are capable of. And, and that was a huge thing for me because that took me through to where I am now. It's like going after these films and just going after stuff is like, yo, like that hustle mentality and that hustle mindset that's formed at a HBCU. If you apply that to grad school or whatever, to life and to work, you'll outbeat most people because most people don't have that drive. So that let me know like to never let that drive that I found and that I learned, never let that go.
So, well, with that being said, we're gonna take a quick intermission, y'all. I forgot to ask you. So, usually in the intermission, we play like a little band video. I guess what would be a band that you would like us to play, for your episode?
A band video?
Maybe a favorite band song.
I don't know. You could play the SWAT Championship halftime show from 2012.
Okay, we'll do that then. So we're gonna for all y'all out there, SWAT Championship halftime show, and we'll be right back. right, y'all. We back, man. We're gonna skip the import song segment this time because we going through Zoom, so we're gonna have a little technical difficulty trying to do it like that. So we're gonna forego, the segment this time. I'm sure y'all want to see it, but we're gonna come back in the episode. Continue on. So after you graduated SCAD, which was 2018, 17?
SCAD was 16.
16? Okay. So you graduated SCAD 2016. You moved straight to LA, right?
Yeah, once again, I kid you not, nothing but God. In thinking about it now, I'm just like, yo, I was crazy for that. Literally, it was, I graduated from SCAD, and the whole time I was like last couple months I was in Savannah, Georgia, I was emailing every music editor or person related to music editing in the film industry I could find. I was sending out at least 30 to 50 emails a night for months. Just doing research, finding names, finding phone numbers, emails, whatever I could, and LinkedIn's, whatever, hitting them up. And, I got through to a few people, and it only took a few people. And, most of them all said, well, to do this job, honestly, all of them said, if you're going to do this job, you're going to have to be in LA. That's just how it goes. And so, I was just like, well, I really, really want to do music editing. And I chose that because music editing is a perfect balance between my undergraduate degree at Pine Bluff, which is sound recording and all the music and orchestration and arranging theory, all the stuff I learned. And then my grad school, which is straight sound engineering, Foley, dialogue recording, sound design, all of that. Music editing is like a marriage of both of those because you have to do stuff that you would do on both sides. So I was just like, well, I definitely want to do this. I did my thesis on it, so I know about it. So I'm gonna just go to LA and try to figure it out. Didn't have a job set up there, didn't have housing, didn't have anything. But I knew I wanted to make it happen. And I just have blessed with one of the best brothers ever. My older brother, he had just moved to Atlanta, and I told him, I was like, I'm going to LA. And he was just like, well, no, I'm not about to let my brother do that by himself, so I'm gonna go with you. And he just dropped everything and decided to go with me. So, I packed whatever I could in my car, and he packed whatever he could in his car, and we drove from one side of the country to the other, from Savannah, Georgia to Los Angeles, California. We did it like 2.5 days, so we didn't have to keep paying for hotels because we didn't have that money. And when we got here, we had both saved up money. We just got lucky. We had Airbnb, so we did that for like a week. And once again, God was just watching me because in a week we both found jobs and found a place to live. We were splitting a 1-bedroom and this was in 2016, and so the prices are at least a couple $100 higher there. Rent, for that little 1-bedroom, no AC, 1-bedroom, no AC, in not the greatest neighborhood in Inglewood, it was $1,200 a month. So, it was two of us splitting that, so we were making it work. And I was working at Firestone Auto Care. Nothing to do with music. I knew nothing about cars. Nothing about cars. I could barely change my own tire if you told me to. But I had that job. I was like, yo, I'm not going home, and I'm gonna make this work. So I learned everything, and learned it so well. In a year, I was managing my own store of an auto care center, but it was paying the bills, and it was crazy. And I met a guy that without him, it would have been a much longer journey. His name's Del Spiva. He went to a HBCU as well. I forgot which one. And he actually pledged Phi Beta Sigma as well. He really, really cool guy. He was and honestly, to this date, the only other Black music editor I've ever met out here, which is wild. Like, it's me and him on this scale of doing it. It's just me and him. So it's so much potential for people to be in it. But yeah, he got one of my emails. One of those emails I sent out. He was like, "Yo, come up to meet me." So within a couple of weeks of being in LA, I'm driving up to I think we were at Paramount's lot. So my first time on the lot, amazing experience, huge. It was like 8, 9 at night. He told me to pull up, and I came up there, and we were just chatting it up. He was feeling me out, saw that I had a good drive, and he was just like, "All right, well, I'm gonna give you something completely illegal. You shouldn't have did it, but it is what it is." He was like, "I'm gonna give you this and see, what you can do with it." So I took it home, and I was just like, "So when do you need it by?" He was like, "Well, it's 10:30 at night right now. I want this in the morning." So I went back home and stayed up to like 2, 3 in the morning doing all this stuff. Sent it to him the next day, and he was just like, "All right, come meet me at my house in a week." And so boom, I drove up and was just helping him. And you have to be union to work in the industry out here. And so documentaries aren't union. So that was my ticket in, because he was working on the Defiant Ones, which was on HBO, which was a real cool documentary. And I got all the hours I needed for union in that. Oh, sorry. Got all the hours I needed in that, and was able to get into the union and start this crazy journey.
Yeah, so talk to me about the unions. I know, when I was going to SCAD, I was asking you about, just being in the industry or being in LA and stuff like that. And I know you was talking about what the union is, but I think a lot of people don't really understand.
So the union, the reason for the union, because back in the day, a long time ago, there wasn't a union. The purpose of the union is to establish rights for us and equal pay for us, to make sure we get paid what we're owed, which is quite a bit of bread, which is great. So it was to make sure we get that, and to make sure we get benefits, and we have pensions, and we have all of that stuff. But in doing that, also, so to work on any feature film or above a certain tier level, you have to be in the union. The purpose of the union is to establish equal rights, pay, pension, insurance, medical, all of that stuff. But also, in order to work on any of the films that are feature films or above a certain tier, you have to be in the union. Just like actors, they have SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild, I believe. It's just something you are required to be in. And it can be tough to get into. It can be very challenging for some people. I got it. It took me like a year, and that's fast. Some people it takes a few years to get up, to rack up how many hours you need to get into this union. So yes, it's a requirement in order to work on any feature film thing or anything that's a certain tier, which is most of what I do.
Okay. So you got in after you got into the union. What was the first like big feature film that you did?
The first feature film I did was this one right here, The Predator.
Oh yeah. Predator, yeah.
The Predator in 2018, and it couldn't have come at a better time, because my brother, he got engaged to be married with his high school sweetheart back in Indiana. So that happened, and I'm in the union, but I still haven't found any work. Right. And that's a hard for him to see, like, dang, I'm about to leave my brother with this $1,200 a month rent that he's not gonna be able to pay by himself. But what am I gonna do? Not get married? It's just like I'm gonna go do this. So it was tough, and that happened for like a month. But God's an on-time God, and he came through, because one of those random emails I sent out, a guy, his name was Peter Snell. He was just like, let's meet for lunch. I'm amazed that you were able to find so much about me. And then they all read my thesis, when they were very, very impressed by that. And so I met him, and he liked my drive. Once again, what I learned from being at HBCU, just that drive, that passion, that I'm not going to quit, I'm not going to stop. It could be way worse, mentality. And so, he gave me an opportunity. He had me come to his cutting room one day. This was at Sony. No, this was at Remote Control Productions in Santa Monica. It's owned by Hans Zimmer, Hans Zimmer's dope. So I went up there to Hans's facility, and it was very simple stuff, but because I'm fast, which is normally how it goes with our generation in technology, we're a lot quicker with stuff.
Yeah.
So he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna call my agency and give you a shot. And I have to backtrack because his agency, the head of that was once again one of those random emails. The second person I met when I came out here, and he was just like, "Well, keep in touch with me. I'm in charge of this agency, and let me know how everything goes." And I didn't know that the guy on Predator was signed to that agency when I was working. So I got to work on the Predator 2018. That was my first film. My brother was happy he could go home, be married, not have to worry about his little brother. Was getting paid minimum wage for a music editor, but that still at the time was like $2,400 a week or something. So was just working my butt off, and I was learning. So to me it was amazing because I'm getting paid to learn. I'm just soaking it all up, and I'm working on a movie. You know what I mean? Like what? Right. So it's just like, bro, like I went to school, graduated HBCU, went to grad school, did all that. Now I'm working on a movie, The Predator. When I was a kid, I saw the first Predator.
Right.
So just being at those facilities, being at Sony, being on these giant dub stages where the mixing board is the length of like 5 cars next to each other, like just seeing all this crazy technology and stuff and just learning it all was amazing. And then after that film was done, that guy, Lee Kotkin, who's in charge of the agency, he called me. He was just like, "Hey, so I heard you did good on the Predator, and you probably didn't know that, but the guy that you assisted is signed to my agency. He told me you good, so my agency, we want to sign you." So I was like, "All right, bet." So now, after my first film in the industry, I now have an agent whose whole job is to find work for you. Right. And they are amazing because they also set me up with rigs. Like I got a giant rig behind me that they provided for me, and it's just staying at my crib. So that was amazing, and I was just working. After that, it was a little scary though because that was in the fall, and around Christmas, the film industry, as far as work, gets really slow. And me being a baby, like a newborn baby in the industry, everybody's not just going to want to use you because you're a baby. It's like, yo, I'm not like, if you got a freshman at UAPB and tell them to lead a 50-person drum line, you're gonna be like, I don't know about that. It's like, I don't know. So it was just like not a lot of people could use me, and then times got rough. I was struggling, and that film was done in September, and I was working on it for like 3 months, and all the money I made, I lasted until January. But $1,200 a month ain't no bit, and that's eventually gonna catch up with you, and all of your car stuff and just bills and everything. So around December actually, it was tough once again. And it came into January, I had like a few $100s left in my account. My dad like, yo, I mean, we may need to send you home. Your agency don't seem like they bout nothing. They ain't finding it may be time to come home. I was like, nah, let's just wait a little bit longer. Once again, it was nothing but God. I was waking up every morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, driving Uber. Here I am with a master's degree and just did the Predator movie, and now I'm driving Uber, and Postmates, and it's, just to make some money. And then the agency came through, got a call. It was like, hey, there's a movie that needs some help. One of the music editors, the director, his name's Jordan Peele. I don't know if you know him. And this movie's coming up. It's called Us, and I was just like, I have to humble. I was like, oh yeah, I know Jordan Peele. And inside, I'm like, yeah, I know what Jordan Peele is, So, then I was able to work on Us, and since then, that was in 2019. Right, it's just been busy the whole time. Busy.
That's what's up, bro.
Now, moved, got a place with AC. Things different now. Now I'm looking at luxury 2-bedroom townhouses and homes and stuff. So now it's a lot better. It's a lot better.
Hey, you living the dream, man. Like I said,
man, one day at a time, man.
Hey, like I said, you're a celebrity in my eyes. What you doing it?
I appreciate that. I'm trying to live up to that.
Speaking of celebrities, what's any celebrity interactions you had? Maybe some stories you can share.
Store. I mean, I met quite a few. Working on. You see that on Guava Island? That one's over my shoulder up there.
Okay,
Working on
yeah.
Guava Island, that was because Childish Gambino is one of my favorite artists. So
Uh-huh.
when I got the call to work on his movie, and that This Is America that you heard with all the sound effects and
Hmm.
stuff in the movie that now
Yeah.
people play on the radio and stuff, like that was me. So that was dope. Um,
Wow.
so and just getting all his stems because I had to work with it. So just getting that song, This Is America, all 20 plus stems of it.
Uh-huh.
Like I have all the ad libs. I got, 21 Savage on this ad lib and this and that. And just being able to hear every little thing soloed and work with it was crazy. And just being able to work with him, he was super laid back and cool and chill and high most of the time. So, but it was a cool experience. It was real cool to work with him. That was a lot of fun. And that was the first project I got nominated for an award. So that was cool. Um,
That's dope. That's dope.
and then on a Netflix movie that hasn't come out yet, we're still waiting on it because it's an animated musical for Netflix, kind of like Coco, but it's funk music, like
Okay.
Parliament funk type music.
Hmm.
And the main stars of that is Anderson Paak and her. So I got to record and work with both of them.
Yeah, yeah, I heard about that.
That was an amazing experience. Anderson Paak is amazing. She's unbelievably talented. Like just when we were just sitting around chit chatting and stuff like that, like
Mhm.
she just, even though she's only like 24 years old, it's just, you just feel legend off of her. You just feel like this 40, 50-year-old
Yeah, that energy for
Beyonce
sure.
type of legend in it. You could
Yeah.
just feel it. And it's crazy. I haven't felt that from many people. So, that was an amazing experience, just being able to talk and stuff with her. And then Anderson Paak, it was funny. It was like during downtime, like he was about to leave, I believe. And I was just, for my close friends that know me, like most people probably know I can sing, but my close friends know I can like sing.
Hmm.
So, I was just walking down a hallway corridor at Universal Recording Studios, great facility. That's the facility that Frank Sinatra helped found and he recorded in.
Yeah.
Nat King Cole, Ray Charles, Michael Jackson, Jay-Z recorded there. When I was there, Terrence Howard was there for some weird reason. I don't know. But yeah, so amazing recording studio, and I was there. I was just walking down the hallway, just singing, humming, doing all kind of runs and crazy stuff. I didn't know, and he just walks. But it's like it's like that thing where like you're both
Yeah,
walking
that's
this
like,
side of the wall, and you at a corner, and he
yeah.
just walks to me. He just like, dang, dude, like you can sing, bro. What's up? And we were just laughing and talking about random stuff about singing and stuff. So that was a really funny story.
That's crazy, bro.
And then with Jordan Peele, even though he's a director making millions of dollars, he's so humble.
Uh-huh.
Like literally, when the ending was something else, not how it originally ended, because it was a different ending.
Uh-huh.
Um, we were talking about it, and especially because me and Jordan Peele was the only two black people on that stage. You better believe it.
Mhm.
Like I said, at this level, it's really not many African Americans doing it. Like, period.
Yeah.
Not just my role, but all the roles.
All the industry.
It's not. I haven't met too many, which is unfortunate. But it also means that there's room for us. There definitely is room, and they're looking for us, to be honest.
Mhm.
um, but it was an amazing experience because I had this director of Us, a movie that did crazy numbers. He just leaned over, and it was just like a black person moment, because I'm the only black person in the on the stage and working on it with him. He just leaned over. He's just like, yo, be honest, what do you think of this? And I just had an honest moment, like I think this and that and this and that, and then
Yeah.
it was just cool to have that experience. And we were sitting down, everybody was sitting down on the stage, and we were having lunch, and we were just sitting next to each other talking. It was cool. It's just cool to just be able to hang out and talk to these people, and you just realize that at the end of the day, they're just normal people. They just making a lot more money and doing other things, but they at the end of the day is normal people. um and yeah, just to formulate these friendships, and hopefully they become friendships,
Right. Yeah.
relationships that last a long time.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You gotta tell me. Did you have the input of putting "I Got Five" on it? On that? Was that all you?
No, that was he had that before he even started filming. Like that
Oh,
was
really?
just something he knew. He was like, I got five on it. And especially with Jordan Peele, like most of his movies,
Mhm.
it has some type of old school hip hop or R&B reference. Like even in Candyman, which he executive produced, which is coming out.
Yeah. You got the
It's that, and
Michael
just
Charles and
yeah, and it's say my name, say my name. Yeah, and it's just that's in most of his movies. That's just a thing he does. So he usually knows that going into it, like this is what I want to do. Period. It would have been nice to say yes to that though. That would have been crazy. And it was fun. It was amazing recording it because I was there when the orchestral part was recorded. I was there in person for it.
I can't even imagine.
So that was fire. Like that's the most amazing experience to me is being in front of a recording stage and having this orchestra and band members 50, 60 deep and them having 64th notes and nailing it on the first time ever seeing it. And I kid you not, it's a whole nother level of talent. Like
That's crazy.
a lot of my friends have asked me like that are in band, like, you think I could do this and that, in the film? And I'm honest, I'm like, no. And I'm just, I mean, you could, but like sight reading is one thing, but literally there is no getting the music beforehand. They go there, and then you just see all this, and they're just on spot, just reading it for the first time, nailing it, because it's expensive on a recording stage. I believe it can equate to either $1,000 a second or $1,000 a minute is what it costs. I think it's about. Yeah, no, because it's 6 figures to record music at a stage. Yeah, so either way, they ain't got time for nobody messing up. If you mess up, that'll be the last time they ask you to come out, period. There's no messing up.
Yeah,
and they don't.
Windows Composer, they want stuff to be like exactly this millisecond.
And they have to. It's all being timed to a time code to film that's going out to frames, and there's 24 frames in 1 second, so everything has to be perfect. And also, it's not like it's a solo. You're playing with like 20, 30 other people. So if they nail it, which they're going to do 100% of the time, and you off, everybody gonna know. So yeah, it's just amazing to see that level of talent. Like, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous.
That's what's up, man. Is there any upcoming movies that's about to come out that you
yeah so this one right here, that's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, my first Marvel movie.
Officially in the MCU now, bro.
Yeah, I'm in the MCU, man. My first Marvel movie, crazy, amazing experience. Everything I thought it would be, as a kid, because we grew up watching Marvel stuff. It's just like, yo, I'm working on a Marvel movie. And even when we were finished seeing my name in the credits, it's during Hotel California on the right side of the screen, just so y'all know. Just seeing it and watching it, and then when I first got the movie, like the first time I was watching it down when they sent me the stuff to my home, and just seeing that just the theme, I was just like, yo. And they have to track all the films, so seeing my initials like on it, I was just like, yo, this is really happening right now. I was like, I'm really working on a Marvel movie. And that that was like the goal when I walked in my first day at SCAD, was like, yo, I'm gonna work on a Marvel movie. Like, that was the top. So that's coming out September. It's a great movie. I highly recommend go see it. It's really, especially if you are following MCU, you're gonna need to see it because of stuff that's throughout the whole movie, and especially at the end, of course. It links a lot of stuff together.
Hey, no spoilers.
No, I'm not gonna get no spoilers. It's a great movie though. It's a really fun, good family movie. Speaking of Marvel, I just got put on and hired. I'm going to be doing, it's kind of like Loki. It's a Marvel series on Disney that's going to be next year. Yeah. I'm going to start on it in January. It's called Secret Invasion. It's about, like, if people know MCU stuff, which I know a lot of us do, it's about the Skrulls that was in Captain Marvel, like the green guys. But it's showing like the really bad side of them.
I don't even think they've announced that, honestly, bro. I think
it's on the internet. If you Google it, you'll see it. But yeah, it's coming out next year, so that starts in January. I'm about to start a new movie next week. It's called, I forgot it. Dang, what's the name of that movie? Unbreakable Boy. It's a drama. It's about like this. It's a Lionsgate film. Okay. It's about this little boy that has Alzheimer's and also brittle bone disease, and just how he views the world as this amazing, beautiful thing, in spite of everything that's going on. Um, and then I may be working on a movie after that, before the Marvel, called The Whale. Um, they'll have to send me to New York for that, so maybe that would be cool because I would really love to do that. Um, we're still waiting to find out about that one, but yeah, a lot of stuff coming up. It's in that Anderson .Paak and Her movie. I don't know when it's gonna come out. Maybe next year. We still have to record the music for that.
Okay.
That'll be exciting because they're gonna send me to London for that. So that'd be crazy. London, they have a scoring stage called Abbey Roads, which is like one of the craziest recording stages. And I've been to all the recording stages here in LA, all the legendary. I've been to Sony, Fox, Paramount, Disney, all that stuff, but I haven't been to Abbey Roads. So that is like the main one I want to go to. So I'm hoping that comes back. I really am. But a lot of stuff coming out, to answer your question. Yeah.
I'm speechless.
Man.
I'm speechless, man.
Me too, man. Like I sit back and thank God every day. I just be like, Lord, I'm just along for the ride. That's all I'm doing. That's seriously. I'm just here for the ride.
Man, that's so dope. Okay, I guess in a couple wrap-up questions, bro. What's some advice you can give to these young music majors that's back here at UAPB? Because like a lot of, like you said, when you was here, you wanted to be like a producer, A&R, stuff like that. What's something that could just like expose them to like other stuff that's out there besides just the music industry, and more so like on the film industry and sound wise and stuff.
I would say that just whatever that you are feeling, like, see it out, like, do more research than just what's there in front of you. You know what I mean? Because one, to really know if you really want to do it. Because me, it was an A&R. I figured out A&R is a lot of law. It's honestly more law than anything sometimes.
Yeah.
So just learning stuff, like, the learning never stops. That's another thing. The learning never ever stops. But yeah, just pursue really what you want to do, but really pursue it. Don't just, it's your life. You only got one. Like, don't just, I'm gonna just go to these classes. I want to do this and I'm gonna just see what happens. Like, no, you need to practice the stuff. You need to research it. And also don't be scared to continue to further your education. Because without that, I'd be at the crib. I would not be here. I'd be back in Indiana. And that's because I furthered my education. I saw what I wanted to do and I just went out there. And there's so many different things regarding sound out there. You just got to research it. So, just don't ever stop researching. Continue researching. As long as you're trying to figure out what you do, you need to be researching until you know what you want to do. And then once you know what you want to do, just put your all into it and never let up. All that stuff you learned when you was a freshman in band camp, and if you progress and became a section leader or this or that or whatever, like whatever that fire was, like, you got to keep that thing lit and don't ever let it go out. And if you do, like, there's no telling where you're gonna go. Literally, there's no telling, because that's what worked for me. It's just I didn't let up off the gas. I just kept it going nonstop. Ever since I got to Pine Bluff and all of that, I just never let up. And if I ever did, I probably wouldn't be in the same spot I am. No way. So just don't be scared to do the research, and don't be scared to try to reach out to people. I get, if you're trying to be a music producer, some people can be celebrities, so you may never talk to them, but you never know. Still send them an email, call them, whatever, send out whatever you can, because you never know what or who will respond. And that's the biggest thing of info I could say, is reach out to people and try to learn from anybody, because all it takes is one person to tell you something or to show you something or to introduce you to somebody, and it'll change your life.
That's deep, bro. Hey, I can't see it. I don't know how to follow that up, man.
Thank you.
I guess last question we got. How has M4 impacted your life?
Like I said, it's taught me so many things, as far as, like, one, it's taught me, like, not to fear, not to be scared of the moment. like once you get that film, Devaughn, and you're on this stage with directors and people that are just making ridiculous money, and time is money, and when it's time to fix something with the music, everybody's looking at you like, all right, we're
Yeah.
ready for your fix. Like, don't be scared of that moment. Just like when I was a sophomore as a section leader on the first day, don't be scared of the moment. When I was a drum major, the first time I had to do a back bend in the on the field, it's like, don't be scared of that moment. It's
Yeah.
just like, it taught me not to fear that moment. It taught me not to give in to my fears big time. And it's also taught me to work hard. It also taught me not to be scared to wake up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning and do a whole day's worth of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
It taught me a lot of stuff. And I think that's really what it be to a lot of older people. You never really realize how much you learn from being in this band program for 4+ years. You never really realize everything that is taught you and how it's rubbed off on you. More than most people realize.
Hey, drop the mic on that one, bro.
Boom.
Drop the mic on that one, man. Man, thank you for coming, bro. And you dropped so many
No
gems.
problem. Hey,
Unlimited amount of gems, man.
no problem. And if you have my email and stuff, anybody, because I'm all about like trying to get more African Americans
Yeah.
here and just to that level, like you could
Mhm.
share. You have my permission to share my email with anybody.
Hey, will do,
And
bro.
if I can help or say something, if I have time, I will absolutely do so to anybody out there for
For
sure.
sure. For sure. That's what's up, man. Appreciate that.
No problem.
We got one last thing to do though.
All right.
One last thing to do, man. We gotta, back in the day, '09, 10, etc. We be on the
Yeah.
halftime show, about to do the halftime show, whatever. We gotta do the Let Me Hear You Roar. So I'm gonna need that out of you, bro.
All right.
However you want to do it, you want me to count
Um,
you off, or you want to just do it, do your own thing. It's yours,
Oh
bro.
no, I'll do my own thing.
I do your it's you, bro. It's yours.
I didn't been at multiple levels, so I just do tweet, 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 tweet. No, that's not it. That just lets you know right there how off I am. Dang. Everybody at Palm Bluff is gonna kill me now.
Yeah,
Yeah, where Bernard at? Tell him to do the thing. We need that.
he's gone. He's out of here.
Oh,
About to see,
I'm gonna just do the tap. Let me hear you. Oh, I gotta do my part. And close.
Yes,
Come
sir, bro. I appreciate
on.
it, man. Hey, y'all. Listen, this is a great episode. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. We got some more coming for y'all. We still got some more left, man. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Devaughn, taking
No
out time out of
problem.
your busy schedule.
Oh, no
Um,
problem. Thank you for having me.
yes, sir, bro. All right, you guys, that's a wrap. We'll see you.